So if you could sit down on your blanket or your pillow and just cross your legs. So in the beginning, when you first start yoga and even years into it, I completely get if this is your seated position. You just feel so tight and locked up and stiff, right? It's all good. So you could adjust this a little bit by first sitting up higher, or sometimes a butterfly pose is a little bit easier for people, or even extending the legs out. What can feel comfortable for you? We won't be here for too long. And if you could just place your hands face down for now on top of your knees, and if it feels comfortable for you, you can close your eyes. If that doesn't work for you, you can have the gaze softly gazing down the bridge of your nose. And just give yourself a moment to arrive. Settling into your space. You might notice the sounds going on around you. Can you become aware of the sounds going on outside of the room in which you're practicing? Notice the sensation of the breath at the very tips of your nostrils. And you could notice the taste in your mouth. And then notice the sensation of touch. You might feel the temperature of the air on the surface of your skin. You might feel the clothing on your skin. And the breath, starting to deepen, to become more expansive and connect all of those different aspects of your moment, right? Coming in through the five senses: sight, sound, touch, smell, and taste. The breath yoking them together, making the moment very fluid and cohesive. Thus signaling a shift in your perspective from the outside world and to more interoception, your ability to feel and work with what's going on the inside, mind and body. And this is how we want to approach the yoga practice, from a really deeply connected, internalized sort of awareness. And so from that place, you might ask yourself why you're here today. What can you get out of your practice? How do you want to show up? How do you want to be in the practice? If you're brand new, maybe it's keeping an open mind and being gentle with yourself, or anything else. Just ask yourself what that is and try to get clear on it. If you're not sure, that's okay. You can just be open to possibility. What does the practice have lying for me today? And if you like, you bring your hands together. So again, welcome, and thank you for being here, and let's continue. So if you're on your blanket, you just go ahead and scooch that off to the side now, and lie down on your back. You're gonna have your knees bent and your feet flat. Just like this. And take both of your hands and place them on your lower belly. So the thumbs are going to be just below the belly button line, and the fingertips are right around the pelvic region. And then you're going to take a nice full breath in and arch your lower back. So in arching the lower back, you'll see that there's a gap between the lumbar spine and the mat or the floor. You might even be able to slip your hand under there. Now you're going to do the opposite. So when you exhale, push your lower back into the mat until you feel like the gap has closed. And notice that that's matched by a really strong toning in and up of the lower abdominal muscles. These are called pelvic tilts and tucks. Try a couple more. So you inhale and arch the lower back. And you exhale, you press your lower back down and you tuck the tailbone. Now, if you're doing okay with that, we'll try to coordinate the arms. So you inhale, arch the lower back, and lift the arms up by the ears. And on the exhale, arms go down and tuck your tailbone, even maybe lift your hips up a little bit. Inhale, arch the lower back, stretch up through the arms. Exhale, tuck the tailbone, and lift the hips up. Good. Then you're going to lower down and roll over to your side and flip right over onto your belly. Just flip onto your belly. Okay. And if you have room, reach your arms out in front of you. So now we're going to do the same action but on the belly. So if you hug your legs together like you were squeezing your thighs in, push your knees down and arch your lower back a little bit. So you're creating that gap again. And then at the same time, try to tuck your tailbone. So the tops of your glutes wrap down and the deep lower abs lift in and up. It's quite challenging, really good for core support. Hold for a couple breaths. Okay, lower that down, shake it out. And we'll just do that one more time. You're going to squeeze the inner thighs together, press the knees down, lift your hips up, and then tuck your tailbone down, pull in the lower abdominals, and hold. If you want a little bit more of a challenge, try to lift your knees up. Just all about maintaining that. It's called a posterior tilt or a tuck of the pelvis. And lower that down. All right, good. Now you're going to take your right hand to the side of your chest and roll over onto your left side. Your left arm is going to continue to be extended from under the head, or you could bend your elbow like this. And if you do have your blanket or pillow nearby, could be nice just to drape that over the arm so you have some more support for your head. Bend your knees up a little bit with your right hand on top of the hip, and one more time with this pelvic tilt and tuck. On the inhale, arch your lower back. You feel the inward curve of the spine. And then on the exhale, tuck the tailbone, feeling the glutes wrapping down. And now try to go right in between those two actions. We're going to call that neutral pelvis. You should feel really lifted and supported in there without a lot of wobble. And then straighten your legs. So you're kind of like a pencil here, or lying down on a couch. Now this is quite a wobbly position, right? Your stability is already going to be challenged. And so if you need some more support, just bend your bottom knee up a little bit. You're going to take your right leg. So put your right hand on your hip there. You feel that haunch. You're going to hold on to it. And now lift your right leg up. And lower it down. Lift and lower. Take that about 3 more times. And you're not trying to go super high. We're actually going to take this in different heights later. So take one more here. Now point your foot so that the toes are pointing away from your body. And then flex your foot so that the toes are pulling in. At the same time, you're really pushing through the right heel. Point and flex. Okay, now hold the point, and from your thigh bone, it's called your femur bone, roll that inwards until the toes start to point downwards. Then, from the femur bone, roll that up and outwards so that the toes are pointing upwards. You're going to start feeling a lot of things happening if you're not already. So you just rotate in and out. We'll do it one more round. Rotating it in and out. Hold steady. Flex the foot again. Now lift your leg one level higher. So if we were going to gauge 3 different levels, move to the medium height for you. Lower down and lift. Down and lift. Down, keep that strong neutral pelvis, point your foot, rotate the leg inwards, so the toes are pointing kind of downwards, and then externally rotate. And internally rotate, externally rotate. One more time. Internally rotate and externally rotate. Back to neutral, flex the foot one level higher, lift, lower, lift. You're going as comfortably high as you can without breaking neutral pelvis. One more time. Lift and hold. Point and flex. Hold the point. Rotate inwards. Rotate outwards. Oh yeah. Come to neutral. Flex the foot. Point the foot. Rotate outwards and hold it. Now you're going to bend your knee. If your bottom leg is bent, you're going to need to straighten it now. And see if you can put your foot on the top of your thigh. Now another option here is just to kind of prop up on your left hand, or you could make a pillow for your head with your left hand. You could do that as well. So figure out what works for you there. And then pick up the foot and reach it as high up as you can. Even if it's like right here, that's fine. Flex the foot and lower down. Let's try that a couple more times. Slide your foot up your leg. Lift. Flex the foot and control it as you lower down. One more time, you can do it. Point, pull it up, lift it high, and flex the foot. Okay, so now try to hold it up here. Reach your right arm up and try to reach your arm to your toe. So it's a little bit of a sideways crunch here. You could always bend your knee and do more of a knee to elbow sort of deal if it's hard to keep the leg extended. 3, 2, 1. Now you're going to bend your knee and pay attention here. You're going to put the foot in front of your thigh, strongly flexing the foot so the ankle is locked, and it's just above your left knee. If you have any kind of knee or hip injuries, I'd be very careful here. I'm going to show you a modification in just a moment. But if you don't, just go ahead and lie on your belly so the ankle is kind of hooked under the thigh now. And some of you might know this as a variation of half lotus, but it's a much safer variation for the hip and the knee. If it doesn't work for you, if your hips feel too stiff, you can do this. See how the leg is not crossed? That's called half frog pose, so you can be there as well. So wherever you are, see if you can come onto your elbows in a sphinx position. Close your eyes and take a full breath in and exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Last cycle of breath, option to lift your elbows. Lower abs are in, breathe in. And exhale, lower down. Well done. So you can straighten that leg back, bring your hands by your chest, lift up to a hands and knees position, and then we're moving into a pose called puppy pose. Your knees are going to be behind the hips, the hands forward, and press your hips back with the chest melting downwards. A full breath in, and exhale through the mouth. So by now the breath is getting more aerobic. Full breath in through the nose, and exhale through the mouth. Then you can inhale, shift forward with the toes curled under. If you'd like to progress that next pose, you'll move into downward facing dog by lifting your hips up. Like this, capital letter A shape. Feel free to pedal through the heels, nod the head yes and shake the head no. And then from a center point, you're going to inhale and shift forward to plank. You can do this with your knees on the ground as well. Exhale back to downward dog. Inhale, plank. Exhale, downward dog. One more time. Inhale, hold plank, and bend your knees and tap the floor. And then try to lift. So you tap, and you lift, you're going to feel a really strong connection into the lower abs. In yoga, that's called the root lock, or Mula Bandha, and the upward flying lock, which takes place a little bit higher in the abdominals, called Uddiyana Bandha. Okay, so from here, move onto the tippy toes, start to walk your hands a little further in, and now lower your knees to the ground, so you're in a kneeling position. From here, bring your fingertips to the floor. If you had blocks, you could use them. That'd be super helpful here. And try to lift your knees up. Then roll back a little bit and extend your legs out in front of you. So you're now in a staff position. You're looking where your head was a moment ago. Feet are strongly flexed. Get a full breath in and lift the arms up. And now on the exhale breath, from the deep lower abs, start to roll down one vertebra at a time. And really try to control it, right? And stretch the arms up over the ears, big breath in. And on the exhale, sustain on a ch sound and try to roll up, but we'll do that 2 more times. So you inhale and lift the arms. And exhale, ch, roll it down. Arms lift up. It's this really deep rolling sensation. Last time, exhale. And exhale, lower down. Great job. So now flip onto your right side. So you should be facing, hopefully you're facing the other side now. And we'll prep however you supported your head. You could bend your right knee a little bit and straighten your left leg out. Little pelvic tilt and tuck, arch the lower back, tone the lower abs, and now lift just to your own level 1 height and lower down. Lift, lower, lift, and lower. Now lift and hold, point and flex your left foot. So pointing, the toes are pointing away, and when you flex, the toes point to the knee. One more time, point and flex. Now hold the point, and from the top of the thigh bone, roll that inwards, and then roll it outwards. Roll it in and out. From neutral, flex the foot, lift the leg to your level 2 height, and lower down. Lift, lower. Lift and hold, point, flex, hold the point. Top of the thigh bone turns inwards. Top of the thigh bone turns outwards. It's okay if you're shaking. Just kind of embrace the shake. This is good for the hips. Flex the foot. Level 3 height, you're almost there. Lower, lift, lower, lift. Last time, lower, hold the lift, point. Flex, hold the point, turn it inwards. Turn it outwards. Now bend your knee, straighten your bottom leg if it's not already, and place your foot on the leg. It can be on the knee, on the shin, on the thigh. Then pick up your foot and try to reach your foot up. Point it. Okay, now it could be lower. Just do what you're able to do, and then flex the foot and lower it down. Try not to wobble. Slide your foot up. Lift, flex and lower down. One more time. Remember, you could always support your head, reach it up, and lower down. Okay, now last time, you're holding it wherever you can. Reach your left arm up and just take some side body crunches. Again, you could modify here with knee to elbow. 3, 2, 1. You're going to place your foot directly in front of the thigh. So the ankle is straight and the foot is flexed. Roll over onto your belly. So your ankle is hooked underneath of the right thigh and pop up onto the elbows here. It could always be flat on the belly if this is too much compression for your back. And breathe into that. Probably feeling this kind of a stretch all the way down the outside of the glutes. Again, modification.
to move into a half frog shape where the foot is out to the side instead of crossed under the thigh. One more cycle of breath. You have the option of lifting the elbows. Full breath in. And on the exhale, lower down. Unthread your left leg. Lift to your hands and your knees. And press it back to puppy pose. Full breath in through the nose. And exhale through the mouth. Option to remain here, or shift forward, curl the toes under, and press it back to downward facing dog. So at this point, as we start moving into more of a flow, you're asked to breathe through the nose in a yoga practice. Once in a while, you can exhale through the mouth. We're going to try to keep a steady metronome of the breath through the nostrils. Good, so from the center point, let's inhale and lift up your right leg. Good. You could do this with your left knee on the floor as well. Point and flex your foot as you did earlier. And in holding the point of the foot, curl your knee in towards your nose. Push the floor away from you, and then inhale, extend it back. Now on the exhale, bring the knee out and around towards the right elbow. So if you can see, the knee is on the right elbow. And reach it back. And try that one more time. Knee to the elbow, and now slide your knee straight down. So if you see, the knee is right behind the wrist. Now can you pick it back up and lower it down? One more time. Pick it back up. Kick your right foot around so you're in about a 45-degree angle of a slant here. Lower your left knee to the floor so you're in an active pigeon. Press your shin bone into the ground and wrap your left hip forward and lift. And then take your arms up. Breathe. Okay, you can lower your hands down. Lift up your left knee and follow through to downward facing dog. We're going to continue working with the right leg. So again, you'll float the right leg high. This time you can open your hip. Look forward and step your right foot between your hands. So however you can get it there. You're going to spin your back heel down and come up to a standing position. Just notice what it's like to be standing on your own 2 feet right now. And bend your right knee. This position is called Warrior 2. Generally, just see that the front knee is lining up with the second and the third toe. Reach your arms out to the side and look over your right hand. If it becomes too much, you're just going to straighten the leg, take a break, and go back into it. Good. Hands together, straighten the right leg. This time, put a small bend in your left knee. Bring your hands to your hips, and let's take one of those pelvic tilts again. So you arch your lower back, and you tone the lower abs. Notice how that supports you and helps you feel more spacious in the pose when you come back into it. And reach the arms out. Two. One more full breath in. And on the exhale, straighten the leg, hands together, and turn your toes in. Now you're going to heel toe both feet a little bit closer until the heels are inwards and the toes are outwards. So it's really the same positioning you did on your side in the beginning. And now bend both of your knees to a wide leg squat. The knees tractioning over the second and the third toes. Think of pressing the knees wide and bring the arms out to the sides in goddess pose. Full, smooth breaths. Stay on the metronome through the nose. Sit a little bit deeper. Okay, now stand tall. Turn your heels out toes in, and fold forward between your legs. All the way forward. Nod your head yes and shake your head no. On the next inhalation, you can move into a halfway spine, flat back. Take your left heel and bring it in. Then bend your left knee a little bit more. So the right leg is straight and the left leg is bent. You can stay here. A second option is to dial onto the edge of your right heel. So you're just getting more of a stretch into the groin area. Move the hands where you need to have them so you can feel some support. Now you're going to look to the right and swivel yourself around so you're in a lunging position. Your right foot is in front of you. And then straighten your right leg. So the front leg is straight. If you have a chair or something to put your hands on that's higher than the floor, that can be really helpful. So I'm demonstrating that here. Blocks as well if you have them. Okay, now bend into the front knee and step it back to plank pose. You can remain here. If you practice vinyasa, you'll bend your elbows, head down to the chest, flip the feet, push the hands down, and inhale, curl up to upward facing dog. Lift your hips and press back to child's pose. Go full breath in through the nose and exhale through the mouth. You can stay here for about 4 more breaths or resume downward facing dog. A moment of quiet. Okay, working with your left leg. Float your left leg high. Curl the knee towards the nose. Inhale, reach it back. Exhale, curl. Inhale, reach it back. Now exhale, curl the knee towards the left elbow and slide the foot down so your knee is just in front of the wrist. And then try to lift it up and lower. It's okay if you can't, just give it a try. One more time, lift. And lower. Swing your right foot around. Touch your right knee down. So this is not a stretchy variation of pigeon, it's more of a contained and lifted variation. Maybe you bring the arms up. Front leg drawing back, back leg drawing forward. Okay, you can lower your hands down, lift up your back knee and step to downward facing dog. Again, you always have the option of keeping your right knee down during these transitions. So you can lift up your left leg, bend your knee and open your hip. And then step your left foot forward. Spin your right heel down and sit up tall to a warrior 2 stance. Traction the left knee towards the second and the third toe, and look over the left hand. You transition here so you can see me. Okay, straighten your left leg, hands together. Put a little bend in your knees, arch your lower back and tone the abs and try it again. Bend into the knee, feel more supported and almost buoyant from underneath. 5 breaths. Okay, bring your hands together and straighten your left leg. Turn your left toes in and heel toe the feet in a little bit with the heels landing inwards. And then bend both of your knees, pressing the knees wide and bring the arms out to the sides. Use it a little bit deeper this time. 5 breaths. Good. Stand up tall. Hands together. You're going to bring your toes in and your heels out. And fold forward. Another sigh through the mouth. Let it go. You can inhale to a halfway position. Turn your right toes out slightly. Bend the right knee. And straighten into the left leg. Some of you might have moved into more of a half squat or a skandasana position. I like to have my hands on the floor for more support. Okay, and then you're going to shift forward to your left foot in a lunging position. So let me turn again so I can come back. And step to plank pose. So you have the option of taking a break in child pose or moving through another vinyasa. Inhaling and exhaling to child's pose or downward facing dog. And shift forward and touch the knees down. Okay, so let's step the right foot forward now. Your left knee is on the ground. And let's see here. Your fingertips can be on the floor. Now take your left hand and step it out to the left a little bit. Turn your chest to the right and lift up your right arm. Good. So I'm just going to reorient myself so you can see me. So the left leg is still behind you, and the right arm is lifted. Now from here, you could stay here. If you'd like, you could bend your left knee, doing a hamstring curl, and see if you're able today to clasp hold of the foot. And no big deal if you're not there today. Keep the chest twisting open to the right. Okay, you're going to gently lower that down. Your left hand is still on the floor. Take your right leg and send it straight back. So now you're in this sort of position. And just as we did earlier, except now we're lifted, lift up your right leg. So you're in a modified Ardha Chandrasana or half moon pose. If you want a little bit more of a challenge, you could straighten both of your legs and be in a side plank pose with potentially lifting the right leg. And if you can maintain neutral pelvis and hold your balance, maybe you can try some of those tree slides that we did in the beginning, or even reach up. So do what you can do. Okay, lower it down, lower the hands down. Option to move through one more vinyasa and back to child's pose or downward facing dog. 5 breaths. Always coming home. You can lower your knees to the ground and step your left foot forward. Hands to the floor. Your right knee is on the ground behind you. Place your right hand down. Turn your chest to the left and lift up the left arm to a revolved knee down lunge. Option to stay here. Or if you want to try to reach back and take hold of the foot, you're welcome to do that. Stay connected to your breath. Okay, so you can release that down and step your left foot, so that's the leg that's in front, step it back, and here we are in our first variation of side plank. With the left arm up. Second variation, you can lift up your left leg. Third variation, you can straighten both of your legs. And maybe even just kind of move your top leg around, right? Even if the coordination hasn't quite come into the foot yet. I can't quite get it on this side, but you could try. Alright, lower that down. Flip it over, and you can move through one more vinyasa. And back to downward facing dog. 5 breaths. Lower the knees down and move to child's pose now. So this is where you're sitting over your heels and your forehead is on the mat. Completely let everything go. If you'd like a little shoulder stretch, you could clasp your fingers behind you and lift the arms up. Good. Lower the arms down and slowly sit up. So this is where you might want to take your blanket again. And you're going to sit on the blanket or your pillow with your legs crossed, or again, however's comfortable. Take your hands to your knees and just kind of roll the shoulders around. And reverse the circle. Bring your right arm out to the side, cross it past your body, take your left arm from underneath. You can stay here. If you want to try eagle arms, where you wrap your arms around, you could try that as well. Okay, lower that down, shake it out. Bring your left arm out to the left, cross it past the middle, and hook your right arm underneath. And next option, to clasp the fingers together into eagle arms, they're called. Keep the head lifting away from the shoulders, so the neck is really long. And then you can lower the hands down and shake it out. So in transitioning towards the closing of our practice, we're going to move through a little bit of breathing. I'm going to give a short Dharma talk, which is just kind of a yoga talk, and then we'll move into our final poses. So let's start here with, it's called alternate nostril breathing. It's really good for supporting and balancing the nervous system. So you could be coming at this from a place of feeling kind of tired and lazy, or a place of feeling overexcited and anxious. And the alternate nostril breath will bring you from whatever end of the spectrum you're on into your center. It's one of my favorites. So to do this, you use your right hand and you take your index finger and your middle finger into your palm. So you won't be using those fingers. The fingers that you will be using are the thumb and the ring finger. So you take your thumb to the side of your right nostril and you gently close it off. Then you inhale through your left nostril. Now close the left nostril with your ring finger right to the side and exhale through your right nostril. Inhale through the right nostril. Close right with the thumb, exhale left. Inhale left. Really slow, deep inhalations, very low in the body, like you're breathing into the pelvis. Close the left with the ring finger and exhale right. Inhale right. And exhale left. Then you can lower your hands down. Consider closing your eyes for a moment, noticing how you're feeling now. And then let the image of an empty white screen take over whatever's going on in your mind. Like a screen upon which a movie is projected, just experience what it's like to be the white screen for now. You can place your hands in what's called Buddhi Mudra, with the thumbs and the baby fingers and with the thumbs and the baby fingers touching, like this. And you're holding the focus of a blank canvas. Let's call this canvas the higher mind, or our higher consciousness. It's the canvas upon which our lives as we know them are projected. So if you were to consider the movie of your life, all of the people in it, the work that you do, the places that you've lived, the labels that you've placed on yourself and others, all of these things that wrap up and create a sense of your own identity, of your own place in this world, being projected onto this white blank screen. Now, the yoga tradition is considering all of those projections valid, and it's also encouraging us to look a little bit deeper and to say, maybe there is something more. Maybe there is a part of me that transcends beyond who I think I am, all of the different names I have for myself in life, right? You have the label for what you do. You have all of the different relationships that you take on in life. Maybe you're a father, maybe you're a mother, you're a husband or a wife, you're a child. And beyond that, all of the things that you might say after the words I am or I, right? I live in Philadelphia, for instance. And to break through all of those ideas about yourself and to connect to something that does not and cannot have a name or a label. It is pure awareness, pure consciousness, and it's something that we all share. We start to see things as they really are from this perspective. We develop a sense of clarity and truth in the way we're showing up in life. And that's what the Buddhi Mudra reinforces, that ultimate sense of clarity and feeling good. Things can happen in life. Things are happening in life. But we can separate and observe them and take a conscious role in how we'll approach them instead of letting them become part of our life's movie, so to speak. We're taking on a more conscious role, stepping into, saying, being the director of your own life, being more empowered and clear. So you can open your eyes and straighten your legs forward and reach your arms up. Take a full breath in and exhale, fold forward over your legs. You could have your knees slightly bent, relax your head down. Getting that nice stretch for your spine and your legs.
Slowly rolling up through the spine. Bend your left knee. Wrap your right arm around your left leg and take a twist, looking over your left shoulder. Breathing in, you can untwist. Take your right knee and bend it. Wrap the left arm around and twist. Looking over the right shoulder. And unwinding to the center. So please, you can lie down on your back now. With your legs straight and your palms facing up. In a posture called Shavasana. This is your time to let everything go. You don't have to work anymore. You can be in the gift of your own presence. Relaxing across your hair, your eyebrows, your forehead. Relax through the ears and the nose. Relax your jaw and your tongue. You can have the tip of the tongue resting on the middle of the roof of your mouth. Relax through your throat, shoulders, arms and hands, pelvis and legs and the feet. Soft, expansive rise and fall of your belly with each breath. Just suspended in the timeless awareness of your own beingness, your own presence. For a couple moments of quiet. You're welcome to stay here for as long as you like. If you're feeling ready, you can wiggle the fingers and the toes. Slowly rolling over to your side in a fetal position. And supporting yourself with your hands as you sit up with your legs crossed. And you join your hands together, reminding yourself of anything that's important for you for the rest of your day. So I hope you stay safe and maybe get outside today and enjoy whatever it is that you find yourself doing, and stay one step more connected to your own higher good and your own presence. So thank you for participating today, and I hope to see you soon. Feel free to leave a comment or add me on Facebook. Namaste.